We got next. So hot right now. Verbal confirmation. Geminis. Wow, that's a big week for Geminis. Venus exiting their sign on the North Node. Whew. After a retrograde. They'll never see that in their lives again. Unless they live to be hundreds of years old, but.
112.
Out of the gold cup.
57 years old plus 1 million.
I think tonight in Spiritual Dance Music, it's just already in the $1 million. All right, Gemini, let's see. Full moon in your, wow, this is going to be in your 9th. What doors are you willing to open up, and which ones are you, closing yourself off to at the same time? 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh. Well, this is the card of feeling like, I'll show the upright dark version of this card. This is like you feel like you've been a victim. The reversal is showing that, it's over. It's over, this whole like victim thing. So maybe it's time to approach things without such a hesitation, I would say. Right? Like kind of like a fear. I get it. Like there's things that happen to us in relationships in life, but especially with this being in a 9th house full moon, square Uranus in the 12th, like you got to learn to surrender to opening doors instead of closing only, or closing yourself off, or going into kind of like, Fearville a little bit. It's also fear of like allowing somebody to come in deeply, especially, I can understand looking at this card. Holy crap. This is probably the most depictive 5 of Pentacles I've ever seen in my life. Seeing a reverse to saying like, hello, like, that maybe is the way that you want it to look like in bed. Maybe you didn't like it looking at it like that. You didn't like that version, but you like that version better. Geminis are crazy like that. You know what I mean? Woo! Let's see what this is all about. What's your shadow? Well, to be or not to be, that's your issue, is you just keep bouncing some relationship around in your head. Like, should I do this or should I not do this? Should I do it or not? Well, like, I think a lot of it is attached to the fear of, you'll be the victim of some situation. And that's over. You did get the Chariot card. This is definitely, connected with, like, you're not going to know where you're going in your life until you make a choice. And wherever you go, it's the place that you're supposed to go. You're supposed to go in a new direction, though. So you can't just sit here and just say, I'm going to continue to live my life the same way anymore. You either let the person go or you move on to a new direction. And that's still moving on. We're going to get more clarity on it. What's the issue here? Oh, yeah, look at you. You're just stuck in your head. Like, it's just head games, and just your mind can't let go of figuring out or looking at this that happened or that, and nitpicking every little thing apart about whether that you should be with them or not. You got to move on and move on either from your mind and those things, or you got to move on completely from them. You got to make that choice. Look at you, really torn up as far as not knowing which direction to go. 2 of Swords upright. Definitely feel like, which direction do I take? Wow, this is like the Gemini story times infinity right now, with Venus on the North Node, with full moon in the 9th, like pondering, and I don't know which direction to go. Yeah, you do. Like, take it or not. It's simple. You kind of have to make a choice. And with the Chariot, wow, you got the Death card upright. So there's definitely a complete transformation here in order to move things forward. So it's like the death of one thing and the birth of another, or the complete, and that can be played out however it's going to be, Gemini, but there's definitely something completely coming to an end in order for this whole entire journey to move to the emotional place that you've always wanted to go, and it's guided by the universe. So if it's guided by the universe, let go of the challenges that you have of questioning it so much, and indecisiveness of, well, keep replaying the victim that you've done, which is over. You got 10th house Libra Mercury. Well, I mean, I think that you have to make choices, and it's in Libra about relationships, about if it fits in with your long-term goals, destiny, career, and all that. But it almost is like, you want partnership on the long journey, but you got to like figure out what are the things that are not bringing the harmony and like letting go of them. Because Capricorn 10th house, remember, is very like, we're not going to get emotional here about things. Like, let's just get to the plan and let's execute it. So there's an execution that has to be done. And whether or not you're still in the head overthinking a lot of things here, there's a lot of over processing way too much right now.
It's like that division going on within your mind and your heart. Maybe they want two different things. Your mind's saying that you need to go left, while your heart's saying, no, continue to go straight, continue going on this path. And it's tearing you apart, which happens. It happens in life, but it's what are you going to listen to? What is driving you more? Is it the emotional thought of it, or is it your heart filled with love? Is your heart filled with the caring wisdom that you have within, that you've learned throughout this life? That's those tough decisions. Sometimes our head does kind of pull us in the wrong direction. Sometimes our head does play these games with us over and over and over, and then our heart does believe it. It's kind of touched on before with the whole Libra reading about believing your own lies, that you can't do it or that you're stuck in this situation. When you just need to go, you need to make that decision to change and actually implement that change in your life.
Well, since vampire is kind of the theme right now, I would say that it's like, this would be like, are you going to be like a vampire that like just like kind of nibbles at something? Like, that's not fucking cool, right? That's like the dark part of a vampire, right? Like the vampire that kind of just like takes a little and then just like keeps you as the treat, in the corner, like, and like, oh, I'm just going to kind of throw a little bit. And it's like you either ravage it fully or you don't deal with it at all. Like, it's very black or white, especially with Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in the 8th. So that vampire shit, like actually it's funny. Geminis are learning the vampire within themselves and how to control it or how to use it correctly. And instead of, they should watch Interview with the Vampire to understand and not turn it out to be Brad Pitt at the beginning, the first half of the movie.